So, great stuff, Tech. Great stuff. There was no audio source whatsoever on the pre-roll, and yet... Anyways, welcome to Onyx Path and our live play of Trinity Continuum. Anima, Masks in the Mirror. Given enough distractions, humans tend to forgive and forget. But no matter how much we forget, the past always finds a way to show that it is not ever completely gone. And, well, our live play of Trinity Continuum Anima Masks in the Mirror is where we get to explore together just how much gaming can ruin your lives. No, but seriously, we get to actually play in this system, not only in the system and the confines of the physical plane, but also exists as an MMO version of themselves. So there's 2 copies of everybody, which is really, really fun. A game within a game, in that sense. But before we begin and introduce everybody, I got a couple things I have to mention. Let me pull that up real quick. And I'm only in my... okay, great. Nice. Nice. Let me double check that. Let's just do all of that. And how does that sound? Is that more centered and not in the left ear? But promotions. Yes, this is the final week of the Exalted sale on IPR that I have to mention. That's also a very, very fun, complicated, or super fun system. And there's also, this is the final week of the Cosmic Horror sale on Drive-Thru RPG and Roll20. There's a bunch of neat little systems that you get to go and check out as well from there. Post all of that in there if I can. And then also there is a special Mask in the Mythos bundle deal that comes along with it. I'm pretty sure that's also with the sale, but that this is you know, something different. There's a little bundle with that. I believe that's for, was it Scion? Something like that. Yes, it is for the Scion system. And then last but not least, there is the little bits Diplomacy and Conflict that's on PDF that's on Drive-Thru RPG right now, as well as a expansion that is on Roll20 that I could copy and paste right now as well, that you guys could check out. And with that being said, let's introduce everybody, and let me stop talking for a little bit. Starting from, I would say, I guess the right side. Max, could you introduce yourself?
Oh, hello, I'm Max. Well, I don't have much to tell about myself. I'm an all-time GM, playing a lot of stuff. Released some minor supplements Drive-Thru, but
Perfect.
nothing big.
Okay. We'll go down kind of clockwise here. Kelly, could you tell me a little bit about yourself and what you do, where to find you?
Absolutely. So hey everybody, I'm Kelly Clark. I am an actor, writer, and the host over at Dork Tales, where you can see us stream, oh god, like between 3 and 6 days a week, usually, sometimes 7, sometimes 8 days a week. We don't know how we do it, sometimes we do. I've written a bunch of stuff for the Storyteller's Vault. You can find my stuff there under Kelly J. Clark. I write mostly with either Travis Legg or with None More Dark, where we're doing tons of like Vampire the Requiem stuff. And coming soon, you can see me in a new Aberrant book that will someday come out. It's coming. I just don't know when.
Aberrant is fun. Aberrant is great.
It's good. I got to write the coolest stuff for that, and I can't talk about it yet because I've been under NDA for 3 years, and I'm like, I wrote all the cool stuff that happens when bad things happen. I think I can
Man.
say that because that's vague.
Yeah, that's vague. You know, we'll have hints of that here too. Spoilers. But anyways,
What?
Red, last but not least, tell me a little bit about yourself, what you do, and where to find you, if anything.
What's up, everybody? I go by Red here on the internet. I am an actor, dungeon master, player, kind of man of many hats. You can find me over on Lawful Stupid RPG on Wednesdays, running my horror-themed Domain of Dread, based in the Resident Evil universe, Biting Malevolence. It's very fun. It is not in the Resident Evil universe, but it is based on the concept of Resident Evil. I'm not as cool as Kelly. I didn't write anything neat, but you can find me on Bell of Lost Souls, where I write about Magic the Gathering and Age of Sigmar.
Perfect. Awesome. And then, finally, here's me, Michael. A lot of people know me as Asterisk VTuber. I do VTubing on the same platform, Twitch, as well as being a composer, writer, voice actor, and whatnot. And I am very, very honored to be able to run this game here and have this kind of little mark on the on this side of the field, I guess. Regardless, let's get started. The Aberrant War, a terrible conflict in which humans and those that are just a little bit more than humans vied for the control of the entire planet. The devastation left during that time was nigh insurmountable, enough to alter the human species' impact on this blue orb we call Earth. But this is a new age. In Cascade, none of the devastation can be seen or felt. In Cascade, none of the worries or troubles of the past exist. Instead, people are able to live fairly adjusted lives in all manners of society, augmented with glass implants that allow people to access the net with their own neural pathways. This technology allowed for all sorts of avenues of new jobs, new functioning implants, or even new entertainment. A man named Alexander Vargas, along with the board of directors at Optech, one of the two largest tech companies in the world for their glass products, took this idea a step further to create TerraSurge, a virtual MMO that is the first of its kind, fully built to take cinematic storytelling to a new level off of its narrator and AIs and the chaotic theory engine named after it and the game's creator, called the Vargas engine. With human assistance along the way of most releases, we come to mark a new cornerstone of development, as the Vargas engine has pushed out its first ever world expansion to the game. And our players, min-maxers, pro gamers, and whatnot, now stand on the precipice. What does the Vargas engine expansion have in store in this brand new area? As the three of you log in, you've been planning this for a while now. The other members of your guild, which we'll call guild for now. I don't think we ever came up with a name, have we? But it doesn't really matter.
Maybe we are the guild.
The guild, actually, you know, if you're that important, if you're that strong in you know, in the game, being the guild makes sense. But anyways, you have other guildmates scouring information. There are some new things about this area, this endless forest that spans after the portal that goes through into the area. There's something they called Wayfinder sickness. As anybody that's over level 15 seemingly no longer gets to be able to move forward. The endless forest itself seems to drag on further and further and further with no end in sight. And in order to bypass this Wayfinder's curse, you had to temporarily or actually permanently decrease your character's level all the way down to level 15. Level cap right now is supposed to be at level 90. They broke the new level cap from 80 to 90 this expansion, yet the first spot you go to, you have to be level 15. Most people are not able to even go through, but at least the 3 of you, along with 2 more guildmates, are kind of standing ready at the portal. Could everybody, really quick, describe their characters for me before they jump in? And we'll do the opposite order. Red, could you introduce your character real quick?
Yes, absolutely. I am Warding Intellectual Life Duplicant. You may call me Wild. I am a synthetic. I don't remember exactly. Hold on. Sorry. I am a sentient, which is basically a living construct. I am made mostly out of wood, but I have a belt of masks around my torso with different animal faces on them that I will switch out when I take on a different aspect. And yes, so Wild is the healer. He doesn't do a whole lot of fighting. He usually stays in the back and lets the flow of nature protect his allies.
Sounds good. Okay. And then, Kelly, what is your anima character looking like?
Well, my anime character is, of course, the amazing. Let me just make sure I got the name. Bright_witch_Rico, who is a human magical girl, who is always just bouncy and joyous and just very happy and is here for support and occasionally explosions.
Occasionally explosions are good. I love that.
It's been a busy week. I'll have the voice mod set up for game 2. Haha.
Well, we got some time anyways. Max.
We got some time.
Last but not least.
So, Magisterium, which is probably the worst possible name for a mage, but he didn't think much when he created that character. Apparently is a weir, which is like a bird-like humanoid. Stands with a lot of pathos, with the robes, with all the elements he can control. Looks over, and well, he has like this superior look to him. He probably thinks a lot of himself. Tries not to talk much, but his pretense slips sometimes. He stumbles.
Okay. And then with you, you have your specific guild's info gatherer, the one that actually lets you know about a lot of the situations that arise. His name is in-game Gekkel, a Cheruvian, which is kind of like a bird person, and you can see that there's 2 swords strapped to his sides, and also there's a Kumderi, a rather large bear-looking man with a name Codex on top of him, and you see this large hammer. You could obviously assume that that's the tank. As you guys stare at the portal, Gekkel kind of gives you all these rare items, these small little pots that a lot of different types of player versus PvP players would use to lower their levels, just so they can, stomp on scrubs and whatnot. Some people use them to recalibrate their characters, but you know that this will drop your levels all the way to 15. You guys are been playing this game at max level for a while now, so it might be a little bit daunting, this task. But as he passes you all the item, he goes, "Right, well, okay, yeah, it's supposed to be level 15. I think I had one of my nieces try out the game, and we got her all the way up to level 15. As soon as she got to 16, the Wayfinder's curse hit. So That's the limit. That's the cap. Oh, are we ready to go?
Yeah.
Yeah, as ready as we're ever going to be, really. Like, 15.
Will be most impressive 15th level characters.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. We all have our stuff, but at the same time, I'd like my abilities. I'd like my skills. I have, like, nothing. Boundless get nothing at level 15. Anyways, you can obviously tell that Gecko is a little bit nervous, but Codex takes the item, the drink. You can see it down it immediately and just, well, we don't have much time. I think I have to log out in a couple hours, so let's just go for it. And he jumps into the portal.
Bottoms up. Not my favorite.
I've had worse.
I'll drink it really slowly and then go.
As you go inside, whoops, go for it.
Wild takes off his mask and there's just like a hole, and he just pours the potion in the hole and puts the mask back on, the human mask.
I love it. Wait, so it's like, is it like one of those like almost like puppet looking masks, like ventriloquist style masks? That is.
And he has different masks for the different animals.
That is absolutely terrifying, and I love it.
I know, right?
Anyways, hold on. Do I have? I don't have. Well, too bad. There's bot, and I don't think I have bot killing skills. I don't know if I do, but regardless. As you guys tunnel into the portal, just like any other traveling system in the game, you notice that everything starts warping around you. Bright lights kind of meld together into different colors, and colors meld into lights until everything slowly starts to reshape itself, and there's just forests. All sorts of forest. There's a little bit odd about the forest, though. Specifically that the leaves aren't green. It's almost... there's a hue of greenish purple, even, to everything. Everything a light hue of violet, lavenders. It's almost seemingly wants to be unnatural, unnerving even. There are no animal creature sounds, which is incredibly odd because for as long as you've played the game, every other area has tried to instill a sense of life. I tried to instill a sense of normalcy. It's a fantasy realm. Of course there's wild animals, but here it's eerily quiet. You could hear the wind blowing, leaves, nothing else.
Did they not load in the terrain features or NPCs yet?
No, it's like this.
Unnerving and peculiar.
Kind of miss the animals.
Yeah.
Could it be some kind of mystery or a puzzle? Maybe it's not just a design decision.
As you walk forward, you do hear more and more sounds. Everybody notices on their status bar, previously there was something called the Wayfinder's Curse. It is no longer there, especially when you're now all level 15. There's slight booming sounds in the distance. given that all of you are in a completely new environment, which is mostly silent except for those booming sounds in the distance, what do the three of you want to do?
Does it resemble anything we would know from the game?
The sound itself?
Yes. Maybe some creature or an effect.
You've heard those types of sounds before, and in the pattern, or at least the rhythm of it moving, you could kind of infer that it could be footsteps of something large.
Should we investigate this? I'll ask. Maybe somebody stealthy.
Perhaps we should. But we should move very quietly.
Indeed.
I feel like this is out of character. I feel like we would know who is good at this, but I will go ahead and say I have 3 dots in stealth. So if anybody has higher than that, it should be you.
I got 0. You should send me.
I'm trash at stealth.
Okay.
Perfect. The way I would say is the easiest is you have, you can do it either as a group roll, or if you want to scout ahead and path out, depending on how much successes you have, I will say that that's the path that you take, that the entire party is able to take without having to deal with much trouble. So
Okay.
So the way the game works is if you're going to make a stealth roll and you're declaring something like that, and in game, in the Anima game, all you have to do is pair it up with one of your approaches: force, finesse, and resilience. However many dots you have in both of those is however many d10s you have. In this game, 7s, 8s, 9s are all successes, 10s are 2 successes.
Okay. I think that Wild is going to take off his human mask, and you hear this like as his body sort of shifts down into more like a cat-like form, and he reaches back and he puts on a panther mask. And I would like to use stealth and finesse to scout ahead.
Okay. Sounds good. Go ahead and roll your d10s.
Cheetor, maximize. All right,
Best
so that
of both
is
worlds. Use both voices. I love it.
that is a total of 6 d10s
Okay.
because I have stealth 3 and finesse 3. So I thought I was prepared, but my d10s are all buried. So I'll just. So 7, 8s, 9s, and 10s are successes.
Yes.
Or 7, 8s, and 9s are successes. 10s are 2.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first 2 is 0 successes. 0 successes and 2 successes because I got a 10.
Perfect.
So 2 successes.
Perfect. As you kind of walk me through how you're trying to scale through. What's your character looking like as he's scaling through this silent forest?
So he shifts down into this sort of like panther form, and then he claws up into a tree, and he's just kind of hopping around the upper trees, just sort of like keeping an eye out on things.
Okay. As you jump from tree to tree, the first thing you realize is that regardless of how silent you were outside of this forest, because all the animal sounds are gone, you can hear every little thing that you do. The rustling of the leaves, the footsteps that you have right onto the trees and whatnot. It's definitely not as alarming as the large booming sounds in the distance, but you almost kind of internally cringe, like, I'm making a lot more noise than I expected. All of you following Wild are basically able to continue forward towards the booming sounds, and your 2 companions are just Alright, well, I never got this far before. It usually just keeps going on and on. But let's say we actually get to that booming sound. What do we do then?
Well, we need
do
to
every
know.
time. We loot it. You know, assuming that it's, you know, an instance that we can actually, you know, kill.
Yeah, if it's beatable. I mean, we should learn what the thing is.
I'm sure it's beatable, right?
I'm really curious what type of monsters they have here. What kind of loot?
And you could see the Kundari on the side, like, oh god, yeah, I guess Rico's doing that thing again.
Oh no, loot! I'm playing this game and hate loot. I mock him.
No, it's not that. It's just sometimes we get into trouble a lot. We don't have to try to min-max every single fight and do the things we do. So, I mean,
Isn't that the whole point? Let's just continue.
your tank, surprisingly, is the last person in this entire train. And as you get to a clearing, a little bit more of a clearing, you realize that as you've been actively walking towards this boom, the boom is actively going away from you. The tree line itself, there's only a clearing because these trees are getting crushed by something. You look back, and you look around, and you notice that these trees are actually quite tall. Some of them sprawling up all the way 50, all the way up to 100 feet. But there's a clearing of just trees that are just completely jutted to the side, crushed underneath a foot of some large creature.
Well,
Ooh, big. Really big. Does this look like anything familiar?
yeah, does this game have this big creatures
Totally give me an Arcana check.
this size?
All right.
Is that
Can I
all of
do
us, or
that?
just
Anybody that wants to. An Arcana check or a
I
lore
also
check.
want to? So is it Arcana plus our approach, or is it just Arcana?
Arcana plus approach, or lore plus approach. Either or. You get different
Okay.
information for each one.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Not sure
Does it
how
matter
to
which
interpret. Yeah, sorry.
Does it matter which approach?
Not necessarily, but if you give me a story, reason for another type of approach, I could give you like advantages and stuff like that. But
Okay.
you could just choose
One,
your
two,
approach if you want.
So I rolled Arcana and Finesse because Wild moves in nature, and so he would like be tracking nature. And I got 5 successes,
Sounds good.
but I
so-
will allow the rest of the party to go as well.
So Riku's basically going to jump in the footprint and like start like squatting and looking around it, going, "Whoa, this thing's huge!" And I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes and an enhancement for Identify.
Nice. So 6 successes. Enhancements
Yeah.
in this games are automatic successes. So,
6 plus, right?
what? Sorry?
Yeah, 6 plus.
6
Yeah.
plus.
Was
Yeah.
it six-
Okay.
wait,
I've
is it-
got
is-
an amazing 1 success.
1 success.
Wait, is it only 6 plus on the dice?
No. 7. 7 or more.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Then one more success then. Sorry, I was still operating on 8, 9, 10s.
Yeah. You should. Technically, the core rulebook says, depending on the character and what their power level is, it could either be 8 successes, 8s are successes, or 7s are successes. And we're going to operate on the fact that since we are all
Power
into
gamers.
the future and power gamers, 7s are successes, and that's the game that we're gonna do. Easy.
Oh, beautiful.
As you guys all kind of gather your information and understand that these footprints don't look like feet. They look like blocks. They look like giant stone blocks, if anything. Calling for an actual material is a little bit much, but they do look square, very much so. The breakage on the trees and whatnot cut through, almost like shears, flattening these trees into the ground. And as Rico kind of jumps into one of the footsteps, you kind of trace it around. At first, it's just mud because of all the mess it made. But you trace around, and it is as angular as a square could be. Just like how wild, as you notice, the gate of each of these spans so far. You jump into, if you notice from where Rico is standing and where you're about checking out another one of the footsteps, it's a ways away. You couldn't even jump that distance without a special ability, of course.
The gate is abnormal for fauna of this region. This creature is, what do the kids say? Effing huge? Ha, 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 ha. I really need to fix this modulator. Laughing sounds strange through this voice.
Yeah, no, we never ever encountered, my niece and I never encountered stuff like this. We just continued forward a little bit and then made sure that the debuff was gone, and then that was it. But do you think it's leading us somewhere, or is it just walking?
Could be on a path somewhere, but might be a trap, might be some kind of quest or instance.
I'm pretty sure that all the hype for this wasn't for a walking simulator, so yeah, probably.
And at
Then
our
again-
diminished level, it could be dangerous.
For all we know, it can be more of a less of a combat encounter. Maybe it leads us to a location, for example. I don't see any reason not to follow.
So do you guys continue on following the steps?
Let's go. Let's do it.
Okay. As you continue on, calculating from, actually really quick, it'll be if anybody wants to do some sort of is there a skill for it? There really technically isn't. There's only really Arcana. Someone could do an Arcana check to see whether or not you're catching up to it, or if it's just getting further and further away.
An Arcana check, you say? Let's go.
I was about to say, I've been rolling a lot of things. I'm going to just leave it to my party at this point.
Okay.
All right. That's going to be on many dice, 3 successes.
Okay, 4 this time, finally.
Oh, snap.
Very nice.
Okay. With 7 successes put together, you could calculate that as you're walking towards this creature, it is not necessarily, well, you're faster than it. You are faster because the distances and the booms put together and kind of calculating it, at least you're able to follow it and chase after it. The clearing is large, by the way. As you're going through, you still can't really see what the creature is, but this takes almost in real time 15 minutes, 20 minutes. Codex in the back going, do we just continue, or are we catching up to it at all?
We should.
Okay, yeah.
I. You also think something's not right about this, right? It's odd.
Well, I mean, given the entire thing is silent, I've only been able to hear your voices the entire time.
Hmm. Riku's going to look behind us and see, like, we have been moving, right? It hasn't just been like we've been feeling like we've been moving.
As you turn around,
God damn
it's not necessarily that you feel like you're moving, or it doesn't seem like it's like you're staying in one place.
Well,
But
aren't we like going in circles?
there's no damage behind you. The trees and the clearing, it just seems like a forest behind you. A little bit ways away, as soon as you continue forward, if you turn around, the trees are kind of regenerating itself. And immediately the first thing you realize is when the five of you were there and you saw the clearing in the first place, it kind of just appeared. There wasn't a path that went across or anything. You just happened across a clearing.
Hey, do you think that the clearing is the boss?
That concept horrifies me, Riku.
Mm-hmm.
This is
They
too
gotta do
artsy
something.
for this game.
I
I'm
don't
not
know.
saying you're wrong. I'm just saying I am afraid.
Mm-hmm. Well, time to do a little bit of a test. I'm gonna blow up that tree. I'm just gonna look behind, point at a tree, and just magical attack it to leave a mark on it.
Okay. Sounds good. You don't have to roll for it. You just
Yeah.
blow a hole through it, essentially.
All right. Theseus and the Minotaur time. Let's keep going.
Hmm. We want to do some experiments and somebody can stay behind and look how the trees heal up or recover. You know, split the party. Always a good thing to do.
That sounds like a terrible idea. Gekkel kind of just like looks around and just, I could stay. I'll catch up to you real quick.
Hmm. Okay. If you volunteer. I didn't think anybody would agree, but cool.
Well, I mean, party rogue and everything. I'll just catch up later. It's fine. As
Okay.
you guys continue on, and well, now I would assume you're like looking back every once in a while.
Mhm.
You notice his trees are still kind of regenerating behind you. So definitely that particular test seems to work out a little bit more. The hole that Rico blocked or blasted in that tree seems to have been complete far off into the distance now. But then something weird happens. The
Then
four of
something
you,
weird happens.
and then something weird happens. Interesting, right? It's all about the inflection. But Gecko logs off. You can see on your friends list that Gecko's offline.
Hmm.
Huh.
Odd.
Well, I bet he hated it here. Did we see how the trees recover? Is there some kind of animation? And I didn't probably I didn't understand. Is the hole still there?
The hole's not there. Not it's as if as behind you. Almost like how the teleporter kind of went. As you
Mhm.
went through the portal, as you see the colors kind of shift around and then something starts forming. It's exactly like how mobs respawn. The trees respawn.
Oh,
One of the
as if we're
yeah, one of the
as if we're not supposed to see it.
Sort of
Sorry.
like that. Yeah, sort of like that. You could think of it this way. It kind of brings you a little bit of information where when other inanimate objects are broken in the game, they stay broken. Unless it is a quest item in which, well, quests are all very individualized or group-based anyways, so it doesn't really matter that much. But when inanimate objects are broken, they stay broken. If they're reformed, it's because you have to reform it. You actually have to rebuild it. Only mobs and monsters respawn.
Trees. Monsters. I'm out of ideas. What do you think, guys?
Something's weird here.
Uh-huh.
I believe your assessment that the clearing is the encounter was not far off.
It's a
If the
puzzle
trees are
encounter.
regenerating, perhaps I could reach out to the Vibrants. That is something my character can do.
Yeah,
Maybe that's part of the quest.
I'd say do it.
Do it.
So, the claw is going to come up, pull off the panther mask back to the humanoid form, and then he puts on another human mask, but instead of like the open-eyed doll face, it's a closed eye with a vibrant symbol on the forehead. And then he's going to put his hand on the ground, and I would like to roll Arcana and Finesse to just like commune with nature
Okay.
as a muse.
Perfect. Let me double check. Is there a thing that tells you what it necessarily does? Is it an aspect?
It's not. That was more just like a based on the way that the muses were described, as they're sort of like the avatars for the vibrants.
Oh, that's what you mean. Okay, yeah,
yeah.
Perfectly. Yeah, just make the roll then.
Okay. So that is 2, 3, 4, 7. Okay. Okay. 1, 2. Wow. 7 dice, 2 successes. Ouch. All right.
2 is really all you need to tell
Okay,
you
great.
that outside of whatever you hear, the echoes of these footsteps, there is literally nothing natural. There is nothing here.
I will relay to the party. There are no vibrants. This place is entirely unnatural. Something is wrong. We should investigate further.
But where to? Where can we investigate them?
Unclear. All I know is I can call on nothing, as there is nothing natural here, other than ourselves and whatever that is.
It's pretty odd our friend logged out, though.
Yes.
Can it be...
Yeah, that's really weird.
Can maybe the game, like, logged him off? For some reason?
You don't know that there's any sort of thing that could potentially log you off, like automatically that way.
Well, theoretically, there can be such a thing, but I never heard about anything like it. This one. I don't know. Maybe smash more trees with elemental magic. Boom, boom, and see what happens then. Just go wild.
Wild. All right, sure. Yeah, all right, let's do it.
Let's do it.
I'm just gonna blow up a major area.
Are you
Almost
doing it
sound like...
towards the clearing, behind you, or to the side of you?
What's to
I'd
the side of us,
imagine-
right? Yeah,
I
what's to the
imagine
side of
we
us?
will cover some ground.
It's just been trees. And on every side technically, but then
Let's blow both of them up. Let's just launch a bunch of blasts out.
I'll do some fireballs, like some, I don't know, cones of fire to burn trees and see
Some
if the game
heart-shaped
reacts in
blasts.
any way. Boo boo.
Perfect. You guys are just going at it. As this is happening, though, is anybody noticing what is happening?
I'm watching.
You're watching? There are literally no skills for actual perception.
Yeah, I
your
noticed
skill.
that.
So what I would say is simply enough. Go into your actual player sheet and roll an Enigma's skill using any attribute that you think pairs with the situation.
Probably intellect. Well, I've been rolling with finesse, so I think I'm going to keep it on finesse, and the finesse version of intellect is cunning, so I'll just use that.
Okay.
So because that is my favorite approach, that means 1 success automatically, right?
Yes.
Cool. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay. Really quick, Rico, Magisterium, tell me what your spells look like.
Giant beam attacks and heart-shaped explosions.
Okay.
That's
Well,
what I'm thinking. Lots of
Yeah,
pink.
I'm keeping my fireballs and cones of fire. Very like fantasy mage
Okay.
fire
So
stuff.
You guys are chucking these like little heart-shaped blasts, fireballs, and whatnot, destroying these trees. Within this clearing, though, you notice that Wild notices that there are certain parts to the left and right side where, as soon as a spell goes through it, completely passes through the tree instead of destroying it.
Huh.
Your magic appears to be ineffectual. Not your magic, but the target is incorporeal.
Let's touch some trees. Be little hippies.
It's an illusion.
So you go and touch that particular part, and that tree just kind of fades out of existence.
Geckel was wait, was it Geckel or Codex was the one that vanished?
Geckel.
Geckel.
Geckel. Damn, I had it right the first time. Geckel was a tree the whole time. Kidding. All right. Well,
Is there any way to like see through illusion with magic or some game things? I'm not sure if I can
Yeah, I mean,
cast.
I think you could. You should be able to have some sort of. I'll say you have an Arcana roll. There is a certain level of illusion that you're able to beat. Depending on your successes, you'd be able to break down the illusion.
Yeah, I'll try that. I think I can use force. I'll like smash it with my immense intellect and willpower. Okay, not bad. 1, 2, 3, three successes.
With 3 successes, your vision is kind of flickering on it, and you're not able to see for very far. But what you realize now is the clearing is one part, but as soon as you turn off the illusion, it is a flat wall in front of you. And there are actually little paths to the side.
Sort of literal what?
It's a wall in front of you, and then there are little paths to the sides, kind of snaking around. It's almost like it's a maze of some sort, but it's programmed so that you could keep following this one path, and it keeps creating a maze around you. There are solid trees, and there are also incorporeal trees that are completely phasing in and out. With your illusion magic, you could kind of create a small little field around you that as soon as the trees get close, they start kind of shimmering a little bit and be a little bit more fuzzy and pixelated even. So you could walk through those.
I will do do exactly what you said.
Yeah.
Illusions. I prefer blasting personally, but I can do this.
I'll lead the way.
Well, I believe they can see as well, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
they can see a little bit shorter range, and they can't notice
me
the
rephrase.
differences as much.
You go first.
Oh, okay.
Look,
You're-
I'm not a tank. I'm here for the role play, and I'm here for the fun. I'm not here to get mulched by a random minotaur hiding behind a wall.
Well, not a tank as well. I think Codex should go first, and I will go slightly behind him. Disillusioning
at the back.
everyone.
Codex kind of walks forward, passing Riku, and just goes, "Well, you know what happened to Gekkel for staying in the back. Just saying." And continues walking forward. And he turns over to the three of you and just like, "What was that age-old thing about mazes? You just keep following the right wall, and then eventually you'll get to the center."
You can
Something
follow
like
left
that.
one, it doesn't matter. You just pick a direction and take the same type of turn.
Oh, okay. Let's try that then. And he starts walking. And as soon as you get into these paths with the shimmering trees, you can hear every single time you pass through the trees like sounds as you kind of whir through every single area. Now, however, getting to the quote-unquote correct path, you do hear animals. You do hear the jungle and whatnot. All the bugs, creatures, and whatnot. It's as if there was a sound cue the entire time.
How strange.
They greeted us with a puzzle. I never thought puzzles were a strong side of this game, but okay.
You walk a little further on, twisting, turning, until you happen upon a pyramid that is completely upside down, by the way. It's built so that the tip is on the bottom and it flares outwards. Blue and purple blocks of this pyramid kind of float around it, rearranging itself, moving in and out, almost like little Tetris blocks, all across the edges and the walls of the pyramid. Think you found your destination. And finding that destination, we will take a little bit of a break as we are in the halfway point. So we'll be back in about 5 to 10 minutes. Let's say 10 minutes. So to kind of reassess how everything is set up. I have no idea why it works that way, but thank you all for stopping by, and we will be right back.
Yep, let's do it.
And we're back. I realized I think we were using the wrong overlay. That's great. That's amazing. Cool. I'm admitting this live. Of course I am. First game. We'll get the little kinks out of the way. But when last we were here, our players managed to find their destination, this upside-down pyramid with floating Tetris blocks, kind of breaking it down and rebuilding it over and over and over again. And right as you take this time to check this, all of you get a message from Geckel.
Mm-hmm.
And immediately it just says, turn on the news right now. I had to leave to make sure because I had some information, but turn on the news.
Do we have to log off?
You don't. There is kind of like a small overlay inside the game where you're able to check out the news. And as the three of you broadcast that, this just in, the creator of Terra Surge, Alexander Vargas, has been pronounced dead, and his penthouse in Cascade. This happened supposedly this afternoon, but we've got very little information on what happened. Just that officially he's unfortunately pronounced dead. He is a beloved member of Cascade's elite, as well as a public figure that created a game and a system that is enjoyed by all in Cascade, and perhaps in the greater world as well, as long as we're able to release it by then. But regardless, this is a very sad and unfortunate day for all of us. This also happening very, very recently, since it's his Vargas engine just created and then it starts continuing spewing information that all of you already know. Alexander Vargas has passed away.
No, no details, right?
No details, just that he is pronounced dead.
That's ominous.
Well,
Certainly strange.
obviously has nothing to do with us being here. Though, I mean, I'd prefer him not to be dead, I guess. Can I, like, search from here for more details?
Oh yeah, you could go on to, you could basically, essentially, since you have the glass installation, all of you are connected to the network while playing the game, regardless of where you are. And connecting through the Cascade net, you just see outrage, a pour of sad comments, mourning, questions. Everybody's, it's directly through into your neural network. Everybody knows this information by now, but nobody knows what happened.
Yeah, it seems nobody knows what happened, Justerian says. Well, I suppose continuing would be honoring his memory in a way. It is ominous, though. I'm not sure how much he was involved lately in the development anyway. Has like a whole company, so I think we're good playing this.
Well, yeah, but still, this is just weird.
It is rather
Agreed.
strange that no details have been shared.
Oh, well, it happens sometimes, and in a couple of days they will release some press release and say that he totally wasn't on drugs at the moment of his death, or it was completely calm and natural.
So I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
just kind of I'm trying to figure out the right way to say this just because of where we are.
Mhm.
Is there a way that I can use a technology role and an intellect role to try and like back channel to find like the things that, like the conspiracies, like the conspiracy sites? Because I feel like we might traffic in like the news that nobody knows.
I like that. You could totally do that. Remember,
Okay.
you're always going to be playing your characters regardless of whether or not you're in game. In Terra Surge, it's going to be so in game, out of game, and in game. It's no.
Okay.
Anyways, in Terra Surge,
I think I can. Oh, sorry. Can we do that? Like search for obscure information,
your
or are we continuing?
information would be different than Wild's information. We have not gotten to our actual characters yet and our characters' names and whatnot. So but everybody's information source will be different if everybody wants to get some information elsewhere.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna try to get information.
Okay. It is completely up to
I
you.
lost
whether
the
or not you
dice.
Hmm.
1, 2, 3 successes.
want. 3 successes. Okay. Is anybody else trying to get information?
I want to do a bit of a different thing, not using my tech skills, but probably use my social skills to
Okay.
write on the forums and ask people and gather information, essentially.
Okay.
I'd imagine that would be. Hmm.
And then Kelly, are you gonna try anything or just kind of coast?
I think he's just gonna ride it out for now,
Okay.
and just he's more worried that something's gonna happen inside of this instance that we're in right now. I think so. Just kind of like while they're browsing around, is just gonna keep an eye out inside of the game.
Okay. Sounds good.
So would manipulation and like command work to gather my fellas? Should I roll?
I think it's just a straight roll would work. I would say either a persuasion could mean something. You could go for culture, kind of being in the quote unquote in crowd of certain degree and whatnot. And Red, as you are checking everything out, there is a conspiracy theory. There has been a conspiracy theory for quite a while, actually, that kind of ties to this a little bit. And it is that Optech has essentially taken over all of Alexander Vargast's holdings, and he is basically a puppet figure by now. People have always been speculating that Optech has taken him as a public figure and just kind of plastered him out on there. Some people have always thought that he was AI generated even. But there have been small instances of this kind of rather mysterious figure of showing up in public with people, so that was kind of brushed aside. But now people have been like, oh no, Optech just kind of had a dummy person. But now the forums are the kind of like dark web forums are more talking about, oh, they just ran out of uses for him. As soon as the Vargast engine, quote unquote, the thing that they named this person after, as soon as it was able to push out an entire expansion by itself, yeah, why would you need the person anymore? And that's what everybody is talking about right now. On the other hand, on Max's side, you actually, when you're asking about did anybody know what happened or something, whatnot, how many successes did you get?
I got 0 successes. So, but
Everybody else is asking the same questions as you are.
Fair enough.
Every single person. Nobody has any information outside of kind of like speculation and things like that. But most polite forums have always just been mentioning, you know, what happened. Does anybody know? There are some people that are like, I live in the same building. I've never seen him come in and out before. But, you know, penthouse versus all the other apartments, a little bit different. Riku, when you, as Riku kind of scans the environment right now while everybody else is kind of looking online, you do notice that some of these Tetris blocks that have been building and kind of dismantling, they seem to be doing the same little shimmering as the trees are as well. You don't necessarily know whether or not it means that they're illusions or they're incorporeal, but they are having that same effect. So the more you notice this pyramid, the more odd I would say you find it.
Hey guys, something's weird here.
Yeah, I see. Can I do the same spell essentially? Do I need to roll again for the pyramid to disillusion ourselves?
No, you could use the same spell, but as you're in range, you know that you're in range, but nothing has changed about the pyramid.
Well,
after a while,
maybe.
Oh, go for it.
Yeah. Maybe we should like check the weird ones, like old school way. Maybe like ding them a little. I won't do that. I'm a mage, but somebody can, like Codex or
You want me to hit it?
oh, maybe throw a stone at it.
Sure.
I have something I could try.
No.
And
So,
he kind of walks back.
Wild takes off his mask and he puts on a mask that sort of looks like the Green Man. It's got like vine antlers that come out, and his face is just covered in leaves. And he sort of slams his staff into the ground, and he's going to cast Grasping Vines to kind of just wrap up around the bottom of the pyramid.
Okay. As it kind of as it wraps the bottom of the pyramid, the grasping vines actually go through that point. It's almost as if there is a portal right at that point of the pyramid, because it just goes completely through, and nothing in your you could kind of notice in your status bar, the spell went through. It's not dispelled at all, and it's just somewhere else that you can't see. Visually, you are not able to see.
There appears to be some sort of portal. My spell is activated, but it is not present in the way we understand it.
Maybe we're supposed to go through it, but maybe I can try analyzing it. Like make some pentagrams. Signs appear to show me magic of the portal and where it may lead, if it's possible.
Yes. Just make an Arcana check for me.
I think I will need
whatever approach you want.
Okay. I'll use the best one.
How does assisting work in this game?
There technically isn't. However, depending on whether or not you have the skill as well, I believe it is an additional enhancement if you go and assist with
Okay, I'm gonna because I am a muse and connected to my vines, I would like to assist in sort of just like reaching my essence through the vines.
Okay.
Is it like one more die?
No, it's a one more success. So you already have an
Okay, then four. Then four.
4 successes. With both what Wild is telling you and what your basically all of your little Arcana symbols are telling you, The one thing that you 100% know is that there is actually an inside to the pyramid, and number 2 is that the gravity is reversed inside.
Is it bigger on the inside?
It's already pretty massive, by the way. It's like you're barely at the tip. Like that's how the tip, like the tip is incredibly large still, but phrasing. But yeah, the gravity is completely reversed. So up is down, down is up.
So I relate to the party that, well, that's what I found. There may be like a dungeon here. Correct me if that's not.
I mean, it's whatever you assume it to be.
Or some kind of location to explore. That's what I think. It doesn't. Oh, it essentially, the portal leads into the pyramid itself. It doesn't lead to.
That's what it looks like. That's what it feels
any
like.
wild place. So we go inside while there and, well, explore. I think that's the intent of the designer.
I can scout if you'd like in a more, I suppose, a less dangerous way for all of us. Just to see what's inside if you'd like.
In what way? Will you be going yourself or send something to look? Do you have any means?
In a way, I will be going myself. And Wild takes off the mask and just hooks it on his belt. And then he puts both hands on his staff. And you see the light that animates his entire body start to center in his chest. And then it flows out of his face and just floats out. And I'm going to use my uninhabit ability to become incorporeal.
Sick.
I'm just going to shunt my soul out of my body.
Okay, you just see like that particular robot like right in the middle of everything, and then this floating orb that's glowing closer and closer. As you go through though, walk with like kind of talk me through it. What does it look like? How does it float? Is there any particular things about your little soul orb?
It looks like a wisp, basically, just like a small like animate flame, a small animate blue flame that just floats.
Okay. As you go further in and go straight through into the portal, you kind of try to, but incorporeal seems not able to be passing through something else that's incorporeal, at least in this particular instance, because that point in the pyramid seems solid to you now.
All right, so the flame will animate the body. It kind of shakes, and then he reaches down and puts the doll face back on. I am unable to access the pyramid. Apologies, friends.
Well, Gackle should apologize. He's supposed to do such things.
Somewhere in real space, someone sneezes.
Maybe I can summon some minor creature to look inside and tell us what's there, if that's something possible.
Yeah, I'd say so. You guys are top of the class. Like, I would say the only problem is since you are level 15, your summon is like a small little bunny rabbit or something like that.
Yeah, but I don't need it to be powerful. I need it to be sneaky and look into stuff.
And cute.
Yeah, and very cute. It's the cutest bunny.
Man.
Okay.
I hate that you guys mentioned that. As soon as that it's a cute bunny. Because as soon as the bunny starts hopping closer towards the pyramid, one of the Tetris blocks come in and smashes it into the ground, and it is completely just gone. Like,
was it on purpose? Magisterium will cry out. What is
You're the one that made the bunny cute. The bunny didn't have to be so cute, but it is now gone, pulverized.
Well, what should I do? Summon an ugly bunny?
I think that if we summon more things, we will make the Vibrants angry. Let's
Hmm.
perhaps go through ourselves.
Yeah, all right.
Codex is just kind of like, you sure it's not just like some security system, some defense? I mean,
It probably is.
think about it. The entire expansion is thought up by an AI. So certain things could potentially seem like how a computer would work.
Perhaps. Perhaps the defenses are only against non-player entities.
Yeah, thanks for saying it out loud, Codex. I believe it is a security system to make us go into and do whatever is prepared for us.
Let
But
me.
it doesn't change much, you know?
No, it really doesn't. It doesn't change the fact that we're gonna have to do something about it. Right, anyways. He kind of like puts his hands together and grabs his hammer and just, maybe I'm gonna have to bat some blocks away, and starts walking forward. And
Can do it.
he dodges. You could see him dodging a couple blocks as it drops right on top of him. Rolls over to
I
the
think
side.
I think I'll help him with like magic
Go for it.
protective field.
Give me a magic attack roll.
I have magic defense in my block skill and
Okay.
think the game suggested it to be this way.
Okay. So you use the block as an extension, and you want to make a shield rather than reflecting damage from by shooting your own attacks. Sounds good.
Mhm.
What are the other two
Okay.
of you want to do? I'm just kind of looking at it.
I would like to, in a similar way to what Max is doing, I'm going to take off my mask and very quickly like replace it with just a yelling face that has no bottom jaw, so it's just like an open mouth. And I'm going to try and Nature's Fury some of the rocks, which it manifests as just a roar. So I'm just going to roar at the falling rocks to try to shatter them before they hit him.
Okay. I would like to point out, by the way, that Red's campaign on Wednesday is a horror campaign, and if you can tell by the descriptions of his masks, it is 100% accurate. Just saying. As you guys are doing this, like every single time I'm trying to picture these masks, and I'm like, this is you are able to stop these blocks from smacking into him, and you notice that as soon as he gets under the umbrella of the pyramid, all the attacks stop. You could assume that there is some sort of radius across. So that begs the question, as he kind of stands next to the portal and kind of looks at the three of you. How are you guys going to get there?
Oh, with that magic protection, I think, and the mask thing, and probably Riku can blow up some stuff.
I've got a better idea. I'm just gonna cast. I'm gonna cast a slow effect
Ooh, cool.
Okay.
because I'm a controller, baby. And yeah, so
Excellent
Riku-
idea, Riku. I'm glad we keep you around.
You know, give me a magic attack then.
Okay.
I believe you have enhancements to status effect.
I do, yeah. It's under my
Perfect.
common focus.
So
Stats.
go for it.
And should I still roll that magic defense? You kind of asked for it, and I didn't roll.
You can go. You can roll for it as well, because
Mm.
thinking about it, it will actually help. This status effect essentially helps you as well.
So it's gonna be 5 with my enhancements.
That is gross. Okay. The
Same.
that is also very gross.
Oh, pardon me, with my status effect. Sorry, that's actually gonna be 6.
6. Okay. Walk
Oh
me through.
wait, no, because I also have my common focus. It's going to be 8.
Wow.
Walk me through
All right.
how the Tetris blocks just completely stop. Not slow down, just stop in the air.
It's going to be like glyphs of like basically like the swirling glyphs you'd see in like Madoka Magica type of just like layers and layers and layers of sigils, and then like these little pink hearts that are just going to kind of go doop and like kind of etherically hold them up for a second, and everything's going to be glowing slightly pink.
Okay, well, everything is so slowed down that you only really needed one success on your magic defense roll to even block everything. Because you guys are able to kind of walk around most of them, and some of them that are just a little bit too close or something like that, you could just shunt away very easily. There's literally no reaction time whatsoever that's needed, because everything is moving like molasses dropping down.
Come on, guys. It's slow enough that even you can make it across now.
Yeah, Codex, you can take a walk back and walk there.
And Koda's like, I'd rather not. The three of you kind of have this thought at the same time, like, if it's moving so slow, will it even still do damage to you? But none of you want to test it out. Just a thought that kind of goes through your head. And you guys
Go wild. Touch it. See what happens. Uh-oh. No, I wasn't serious.
You immediately take a point of damage without it falling towards you. You touching it immediately hits you for 1. Yeah.
Ow. Okay, that's fine.
And then lethal Tetris blocks aside, you guys all manage to be under the umbrella of the pyramid now. Even the wind kind of stops here. Just the absolute sheer size of this thing, now that you're under it, feels like it blocks wind from all directions. Kind of reminds you of some of the buildings in Cascade, even like some of the halls and stuff seems to have like a vacuum of air because of how tall the buildings are. The climate completely changes simply because you're next to a building that's that large, covering up the sun, covering up the wind in some places and whatnot. And there's a similar effect here. This is a solid pyramid.
Wow. Didn't expect to find this in the woods. Not gonna lie.
Codex just kind of looks at the three of you, well, we're here, and we know Gecko's safe, but do we just continue with it without him?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Before we go, I would like to fix my finger. And he takes off his mask and he puts on a mask that is, it also has an open mouth, but where the other one was missing a jaw, this one's just sort of like an open mouth. And the face is more feminine, and it has tears coming out from the eyes and a little engraved halo. And he's going to use Healing Song. Okay. And so you just hear like a beautiful like, ah, and his finger fixes up, and then he takes the mask off. And then he puts on an angry mask and looks at Riku for a second, and then switches to his regular mask.
What was that face for?
You know what the face was for. He's just gonna walk through.
You love it.
I do.
As you all go, I assume everybody's going into the portal, right?
Yeah. You know what? I'll message Gecko. Like, Gecko, what word should I use? Good friend. In quotes. You should have been here with us, not reading some news at home. Come back. Bye. Sent.
There's like the 3 dots of him typing something, but then before the message even comes through, you're like zoomed into the portal as well.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, the 4 of you land yourself in complete and utter darkness. There's no lights. There's kind of a sonic boom almost of just sound. Just knowing that this area is bouncing sound off. It's so large and so vast, nothing is at all muted or darkened. As soon as all of you reach your destination, complete and utter darkness, there's no light whatsoever. You hear footsteps in the distance.
Create light.
Okay. You turn on a light for yourself, and you notice there is one particularly tall, about 10 feet tall or so, very polygonal looking soldier. Clear blue, completely see-through. And you notice this large axe that he's holding. It opens its mouth, and there's just a garbled string of random gabber noises. Metallic sounds. Electronic kind of interference even. It's almost Gaussian in the way everything just kind of like all sorts of different types of tonal, atonal sounds coming out of its mouth. And that's when you hear
Creepy.
more echoing footsteps in the back. I need everybody to roll initiative. So, we are in Trinity Continuum, and initiative is rolled, very simply, by the lower of athletics plus cunning or empathy plus dexterity.
So do you roll that like out of like as your player?
As your player, yes. Because I am going to make it easier, and we'll do it as the player.
So you said it's the lower of athletics and cunning or empathy and dexterity?
Plus dexterity, yes.
Okay.
Also, apologies. Music didn't work. The next time, the music will work. So that'll be cool. But,
5.
Okay.
I got 2 10s and an 8.
1 success.
Jesus. Okay.
I have 2.
Okay. So right now, since there's only one thing on my side, and he rolled 7 successes.
Ooh.
The thing immediately sees the 4 of you and takes like a defensive stance, and it stands perfectly still. Having 3 successes in the defense, it adds essentially 3 to the difficulty of your roll to try to break its defense. And it'll just pass on the first player that did get the highest, which was Riku.
Okay. Okay, this thing's hostile. That's my other character sheet. Um, let's make it. This thing looks tough. Let's drop a weaken spell on it.
Okay.
So it's probably a magical attack. It's a status effect. Cool. I'm just double checking how often I can do this guy. I think it's weaken. Power of Magath weakens those it touches. Oh, and I guess I can use distant weaken because I have a level 2. And I can cast disease on this guy if this works. So let's find out.
Okay.
That is one. Thank God for using. Actually, that's really good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus that's 8.
8?
And
Jesus.
yeah, with
That
my
fucking-
status effect enhancements, yeah. So yeah, let's disease him.
Okay. You actually
I think-
do make the successes with 5 difficulty and 3 success left over. You get the diseased condition. Let's see what does the disease condition do?
I don't know. Let's find out.
Let's find out. I love how it's 3 rounds. Anima suffers from a disease state that makes it harder for her to act. Increase the difficulty to take all actions by 1. Simple.
Nice and simple.
Nice.
All right,
and
let's do
simple.
that. So just pew.
You could see the stance kind of
So for a common focus, so
Mhm.
I have a common focused enhanced 2. What does that mean? What is that? Is that on all magical attacks, or is that?
Let me see.
I'm just curious because I've got that in my equipment.
Starting equipment, it just Okay, so let me double check the focus. You can use a
I might have that on top of that. I don't know what else I can buy with the extra successes regardless.
It is
But-
actually that. So just like
Oh,
how
okay.
characters or regular characters have weapons, and the weapons have enhancements.
Oh, okay.
Essentially, the focus is your weapon.
Okay, so that magic attack has 2 more hits then. So
Well.
I'll put that into screw you, buddy. I don't know.
Okay. You actually get 2 stunts, I believe. I'll say that you can change that into damage as well with the weaken, or if you want to increase the
Let's
duration
increase.
of the weaken.
Let's make it longer. Let's make it so that this guy's gonna be weak as hell.
Okay. So the disease state is not just going to be 3 rounds. We're just going to add 2 more rounds to that. It is 5 rounds. So we're going to count down from 5, as this creature is definitely taking some difficulty moving. And with that being the end of your turn, you get to decide who goes next.
Who's got a plan?
Oh, I want to hit it with a beam.
I have a plan, but let him.
All right, let's hit it with a
Let
beam.
our mage. Yeah, let's beam him.
Okay. So you are going to go for the magic attack.
Yeah,
The
I believe
holy
if
freaking shit. I just realized. Yeah, that beam's gonna hit. Holy.
yeah, I believe I have like +2 enhancement on beam, an elemental lash 2, and a common focus. That would be 6 successes already, and 4 more 10 successes.
10 successes as you
Yes.
basically walk me through what the beam looks like.
Well, well, I guess Magisterium is having his fire day today, so it's like a very concentrated, rad, looks like shiny magma or something like in a very small turret that just rushes to the creature and tries to melt it
Okay.
or crack it.
As soon as the kind of like the magma of it shooting into it, it splashes all over its kind of polygonal surface, and you see the burn marks as it does take quite a bit of damage. It takes 5 damage here. Remember with the defense that it has right now, the difficulty you have to reach is 5 just to even damage it. So it takes 5 damage. And with that, it's still kind of it's still standing. It looks damaged. And you notice for the first time, as soon as the beam hits, and most of the time in the game, when you see a creature that you haven't attacked it or anything before, you don't see the HP bar. Right now you do see that there is a status effect on him, the disease status effect. But the HP bar that's supposed to show, it still has question mark of question mark. That's still written on there. You don't know how much damage you did to it. You just know that you hit it.
That doesn't look correct.
With that,
What's your plan?
Who are you passing it off to?
Oh, to the muse. That's what I was trying. What's your plan? This doesn't look right.
I can keep it away from us, at least, or slow it down. And he takes off the doll mask, puts back on the green man mask, and a jewel in his right hand begins to glow as he slams his hand into the ground, and using his enhanced brutal focus is going to cast Grasping Vines. That means that I increase any complications by 2. I get +2 to the attack roll, on top of getting +2 to the area attack because of my ability as a area attacker. And anytime he tries to move through the Grasping Vines, he automatically takes a damage, no roll required. So
why did I give you guys a tank? Nothing is going to get to you guys.
Okay, so let me go ahead and roll this. So I have 4 automatic successes. Plus 6 dice. So that is 4, 5, 6, 7 successes.
7 successes. Okay. So
and the area around me in a medium range is now you have to spend complications to move, and if you move, this is only enemies because I succeeded. Okay. Spending complications is an automatic damage point.
Sounds good. Okay.
And because it's brutal, it's an additional -2. And he takes damage. Yeah.
So this thing's not moving. Or, well, let's see what happens as you kind of the vines kind of start basically spiraling.
It's brambles at this point.
Oh, essentially, right? There's definitely thorns everywhere, but of course, your teammates already experienced in seeing this before doesn't really faze them. And this thing, the vines, the brambles and stuff, actually start wrapping around its polygonal legs as well. And with that, you would pass on your turn to your Kundere, who is still here, and is going to take a swing with his hammer into the creature. And let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 2 extra successes.
Hey guys, we're pretty good at this.
I would hope so. You're supposed to be the best of the best. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on the hammer strike, as it strikes right into the chest, dealing 2 more damage to this creature. Bouncing off, though, the hammer kind of just boom, ringing out in this entire room. And then you hear the echoes of footsteps again as it starts marching closer and closer. With your light, by the way, for Magisterium's light, you notice that there's actually a couple different doors. There are a few different doors around here, and you do hear that the footsteps are coming from behind that that creature, or the polygonal soldier. With that, the next round comes in, and the soldier is going to try to do something. Operative word try. As I think the weaken itself takes one away. The complications to move is another 2 because of brutal.
4, because it's brutal.
4.
Brutal gives 2, and then grasping vines gives 2 more.
2 more. Okay, so it's taking 2 damage just to try to even get to you.
Yeah.
As it's walking towards you, as it kind of tries to ignore the tank, but the enmity kind of goes through. It's moving across these vines because your tank smacked it. Codex smacked it, backed off. It's going to take a swing, and it will be with, wow, 1, 2, 3, 4 on the die. That is 9 successes.
Oof.
As the axe swings into him, and immediately, with the block that the defense that your tank already has right now, with the armor as well, which is 3, that is still 6 damage. And immediately Codex is like, we're level 15. That was half my health. I think we should just back off. Find cover, find another door, something like that. I don't think we can take more than 1 or 2 of these. And after the creature is your guys' turn. Whoever wants to go first.
I can heal our tank, and then we can move.
Should we really retreat?
I think that maybe we should. If the creature's doing half our health in a single hit, I think that maybe we should not be in this encounter. I'm good to stay and fight, but I don't want to get our tank killed.
Be one more round for loot.
Okay.
Yeah, one more round.
Well, then
You got this.
I'm going to, if it's all right with the party, make sure that our tank stays in.
Yeah, that.
So click off the green man, put back on the angel mask, and reach out and cast Healing Song,
Okay.
which is 4 automatic successes before I roll.
Okay. Sounds
Because
good.
I have healing +3 and a +1, or a +1 focus.
Sounds good.
So 5, 6, 7. So 5 successes total. And I think
Sounds good.
Healing Song, each success is
A point
a
of
point of damage. Yeah.
Yeah.
So 5 healing.
5 healing. Almost healing the entirety of that attack. He only lost 1 health and now with that attack. And he kind of nods to you. And you get to pass your turn if you don't have any other movement or anything that you want to do.
Riku, burn him.
I mean, sure, I've got more of a blast thing than a burn thing, but boom.
Correction. Riku, destroy him.
Oh, okay. There we go. Perfect. Ready, and I'll use a magical attack.
Okay. Roll for that. This thing
Ooh, that's a
did
bad
not
roll.
defense.
That's a bad roll. That's gonna be 1, 2. Just 4 successes on a blast.
4 successes still hits over its non-defense or like non-defense roll. So it was only 2. The difficulty was only 2. So you have 2 hits. You can either just do the 1 damage and then do some sort of stunt if you want, or just take 2 damage.
Let's do 2 damage.
Okay.
We just need to take this thing's hit points down.
As you blast into it, kind of chunks away, and you notice now that the battle damage is real. The polygons are now kind of crumbling, and it basically, parts of it was 16-bit, and now it's like 64-bit with all the ridges that are kind of cracking out of it. But with that, who are you passing the turn to?
I mean, I guess we'll send it over to our mage.
Yeah.
We need more
Fair
blasting.
enough.
Sounds good.
More of the same, I suppose. 3 plus. Same thing. 9 successes this time.
9 successes! Jesus Christ. So you're literally matching this creature as you do the same magma blast, and you take essentially half of it off. The upper half, where it kind of cuts through from the left side, the left arm, the head, and most of its body gets completely blown and shattered across this room. You could hear the echoes of these polygons kind of bouncing around inside. It's still holding the axe with his right arm. Well, at least holding
Feel
kind
the
of most
power
of it.
of
But
Magisterium. Codex, finish him.
it's just kind of like staggering, and Codex takes a hammer blow, and technically, with the automatic successes from the weapon itself, as long as he rolls, and he does 2 successes, kind of swings almost like a baseball bat, shatters the rest of it.
Great job.
And as soon as it shatters, you almost have that particular silhouette of that particular polygonal creature just completely shattering into the wind. Right behind it, 7 more start walking towards you.
Oh my.
Okay, that's a few too many. We should probably bounce.
We should run.
No loot?
All of you do get something. All it says is information number 1, and then it has a small code in the back. It's like almost like a message, almost like a browser address even. But it's like it's fine print inside, and it's just an access. That's all you have to choose from that item is access.
Running first, reading later.
Affirmative.
Okay. I would like everybody to in some way roll either athletics or stealth, your choice, to get out of the situation with your animas.
All right.
If you don't have points in either, it is just the dice from your approach.
Okay, I'll roll the approach, but it's still 2.
Okay.
I'm gonna use
3
my
successes.
stealth.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm going to use athletics.
You're just hoofing it. All of you are just hoofing it.
Running and screaming. Ah!
Well, I'm stealthing, so I'm not hoofing it. I'm trying to stick to the shadows.
Which there are many, because the only shadow the only light that is cast right now is still from Magisterium's spell.
Oh, I think I also got 2 from my culture. I can glide a little away.
Okay.
Two
You're literally
successes.
doing like a game, one of those movement techs, like a game movement tech where you're like jumping and then gliding and then jumping and then gliding.
Yeah.
So you're gonna speed your way up.
Whoosh. Look,
Luckily,
taking
it's not
points of
like,
athletics.
luckily, it's not like freaking the Zelda Ocarina of Time kind of side hip hop, hip hop, hop, hip hop, flipping around.
Or
But
Mario backflipping up the stairs to cheat into the final level.
basically, was what's happening. As all of you pass out of this room, you notice clanging noises as you turn around, and Codex didn't roll a single success. So he kind of got stuck in the back. Knowing that those things attack and hit one like pretty hard, having 7 of them on you doesn't seem like a really favorable.
He'll be fine.
As soon as you say that, there's a message with Codex messaging you guys. I died. Yeah. Whatever room you're in, though, it's silent. The paths that you took, you lost the guards somewhere. And all you have is now a completely empty pyramid to explore. And this piece of information that just says access on it. How would you guys like to proceed?
I'd like to learn more about this information thingy. Sorry. Somebody saying anything?
As soon
Can
as
I understand? Yeah.
Yeah, as soon as the 3 of you access the piece of information, a small blip opens up in your overlay, and a video plays. It looks like a security camera. And you notice a very fancy boardroom. The camera's colored, high definition and everything, 4K even. You notice the long black obsidian table with this gold trim in the middle, this oval table. And at the very edge of it, it's kind of tapered off into a point, into like a sorry, just cut off even. And there's a large chair in front of it. Excuse me. As people kind of gather around. You can't hear any voices. There's no audio, but they're definitely discussing something. As the camera kind of still pans left and right. You notice very, very quickly and very easily that sitting at the front of the table is someone that all of you should know, almost like the back of your hand. Marissa Cassell, who is the de facto owner and CEO of Optech.
Mm-hmm.
As she talks, you notice the boardroom door opens. These large, from ceiling to floor doors that slide open with these handlebars. And Alexander Vargas comes in. And they talk. You notice the smiles on the board of directors' faces, almost sneers even, as you could very obviously tell that they're hiding something from him. His face, stoic, unmoving. You could see a little twinge of anger in his eye. But it fades very, very quickly as it disappears. He raises one hand like this. And then immediately, from above, right next to the security cameras, completely out of the security camera's view, gunfire rains down on the board of directors. Every single one of them completely mowed down, leaving only Marissa Cassell sitting. Complete massacre, a bloodbath even. She sits in complete shock, and Alexander turns to the camera, and for the first time, audio kind of picks in, and you hear him say, "Reach the top." He's looking directly at all of you.
No.
The node disappears, shatters, and there is a save point right in front of you. You know what these are. You can log in and log out wherever you want, whenever you want. But this point now is in this room. You can also teleport people here. But as that save point shows up, all of you log out. Forced completely out of your will. And with every single one of you having a message let me also do this as well. A message appear in your overlays, in your glass overlays. There's no title. You don't see who the sender is. And that is where we'll end our introductory session of Masks in the Mirror. Trinity Continuum Anima. Thank you everybody for dropping by. It's a little shorter session because we're kind of getting by things and stuff like that. We'll pick it up from here. And thank you so much for the players. Thank you so much for the viewers. Thank you so much for Onyx Path for letting me do this. Make a mess of their channel while I'm here talking about video games and shit, which is nice. But before we sign off, just real quick, wanted to reintroduce all of our players once again, from the complete other way around again. Red, would you care to introduce yourself, who you've been playing? We've only known the Anima characters so far, so who you've been playing, and what you do and where you can find you.
Yeah, so I'm Red, in all of the internet circles. I have been playing Wild, the Muse today, the sentient Muse, living doll man with the interchangeable faces. You can find me streaming on Wednesdays with Lawful Stupid RPG, with Biting Malevolence, our horror domain of dread. You can also find me occasionally playing Magic on different Magic streams across the internet. And you can find me at Bell of Lost Souls, writing content about Age of Sigmar and Magic the Gathering.
Love it. MTG and Warhammer? Ugh, great.
Yeah, I know.
Anyways, Kelly.
Hey everybody, I'm Kelly. I'm the guy over at Dork Tales if you want to watch some more content over there. Today I was playing Bright Witch Riku, and this is a very interesting game. I'm excited for next one.
Nice, thank you so much. Amazing praise for someone that you know, runs games all the time. I
too often.
Yeah, too often. You know, honestly, right? I think all of us run games too often. But anyways, we deserve a game like this. Max, last but not least.
Hello, I'm Max, and I've been playing Magisterium today, Elemental Mage, and, well, a bit of full of himself. Though, judging by those attacks, not too bad. Well, yeah, I guess you can find some of my indie stuff on RPG, and, well, I'm not doing much streams except for this one, but you may contact me on socials about me running my games, of course.
Sounds good. And I'm just here, being everybody else, talking about a really weird story that will eventually, you know, maybe make sense or maybe get worse. Anyways, you could find me, AsteriskVtuber. I stream more now on Twitch. I've kind of gone through a phase, but composer, writer, voice actor, you can find me on stuff everywhere. But thank you so much. It was my pleasure to run this game, and I hope to see you guys next time. Catch y'all later.